G'day everyone, Dan here from Edge Small Business Consulting, and I've got Neil here from Fairway Financial. How are you going, Neil?
Great, Dan. How are you?
Good, thank you. Today I'd like to speak to Neil as a fellow small business owner and potentially some of the challenges that he's faced over the course of, I guess, the last few years or in your career in general, with three short questions, if that's okay.
Fire away, Dan. You bet.
Excellent. So I guess my first one is obviously the financial planning industry has had quite a bit of turmoil in the last sort of 3 to 5 years. What's been the turmoil and how's that sort of affected your small business as well as small businesses in general?
Yeah. A lot. 28 years in business for me, but definitely the most change in the last couple of years. In financial planning, and without boring the audience, there's a little bit of stuff that could be relevant. It used to be only a few short years ago that the banks pretty much ran financial planning industry. Well, all of the banks are out. They don't have advisors. They don't offer products. Amazing. AMP, the biggest insurer in the country, all of my career, they don't do new insurance. In fact, they sold off their insurance arm. And it's like, what the hell? So what does that mean? Well, it means that the landscape has changed. There's been extra compliance, extra scrutiny, extra education standards, and the number of advisors in the country has gone from about 28,000 down to about 15,000 left. So that means for small business owners, if you want to go and get advice somewhere, you've got less places to go, and the banks, who are often an easy port of call, aren't around to be in that space. What it's meant for our business is we've had to consciously make decisions about how we run our business. Like, we've got all this increased compliance, which is increased cost, and no commissions on insurance have reduced by 40% in the last couple of years. No commissions on investment and superannuation that used to exist. So we are in the world of charging fees. With the rising cost and all this extra time involved, we've had to significantly increase our costs. So it's been a real shift in how business is even done in our office. And along with, as everybody's experiencing, if you're trying to hire somebody or find somebody, it ain't that easy, and you got to probably pay a bit more than you used to. So it's just pressure that we're experiencing as everybody else is. So as small business owners, there's been, massive change for us.
I'm sure all of the small business owners can definitely relate to the rising costs and especially extra compliance, not only around the financial industry as you're speaking to, and obviously we're in as well, but also just every industry, building everywhere. It's all increased compliance, which means increased costs. So that's, I guess, part of the reason why we're all feeling the pinch a little bit.
Yeah, we talk to people in all sorts of different industries. So I'm not trying to say it's just our industry, but all of them. We took our dog to the vet the other day, and they've got to do all these notes before we can walk out of the room, just so that they can meet their standards of compliance. It's like, all right, the dog seemed happy.
So I guess that's a really good segue into my next question, which is around, I guess, consumer sentiment. And obviously you speak to a lot of clients every week and things like that. What are you finding the general consensus is out there in terms of spending on things like, in your industry, obviously financial planning and income protection, but just things in general? What's your general gut feel there?
What we see in our business, we sort of separate the insurance from full financial planning, which is people mostly planning for retirement or investment and that sort of stuff. On the investment side, the superannuation side, there's just so much complexity that I think people realize they can't do it themselves. And particularly if you're pre-retiree, like you're in that lead up to, there's dates and amounts and stuff that you just have to know to make the right calls on the way through. So people recognize that they go to their accountant for advice. They need financial advice. Accountants can't do what we do, so they have to come and pay for advice. So there's been a big uptake in that side. And with an aging population and more people in that retirement window, that's just happening for us. On the insurance side, the rising cost of everything is really impacting people's ability to afford insurance. More and more people are saying, what's the alternative to me paying it? And probably the alternative is paying for it out of your super. You're still paying for it, but you're delaying the payment because I can get that one day. It's not the best strategy, but it's definitely the alternative for insurance on the insurance side of things. I reckon that a year ago, there was a bit more pessimism as interest rates were going up, and it was the first time it's happened for ages. Everybody was more like that. Now it's a little bit more accepted and a bit more the norm. If I go to the cafe next door, there's still the millennials are buying their avocado on toast, paying $12 for something. But so I see and sense, although my weekly shopping tells me otherwise, that people are still able to spend. We've got enough new inquiry on the insurance side to say that I think that people are finding a way. If you need it, you find a way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess it's about prioritizing your spend as well. So.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
And probably just to finish off, Neil, in terms of the next sort of maybe 12 months, 2 years, what are some of the big business opportunities you see, not only for your business, but small business in general?
Well, for our business, it's definitely that retiree sort of the baby boomers is well known, all moving through. I can't think of the numbers. As people also get older and pass away, there's trillions of dollars likely to change hands in the next 20 years. So I think that's a space that we're really comfortable that we've made that decision that I mentioned before, that we are in. And if we're going to be in, we need to be sustainable. We're going through a process at the moment of increasing fees for people just so that we can make sure that we are around for them in the future. For people in general, I think AI is going to have an impact. Clearly, there's some industries where AI is not going to build a house for you, like in terms of replacing a builder. Having said that, friends of ours have built the first 3D designed house in New Zealand recently. They've moved in, they're living in it, 3D design. This big machine comes and pours it all out, and all the walls are up and the roof goes. Amazing.
Wow.
So technology might impact other places that I wouldn't have thought it would. But I'm really hopeful that AI is, and what I've listened to and read about, that it supports people doing business. It's not replacing. I think those that get on board and use it alongside with people still want people interaction, I think. I certainly do. But if you can use it for efficiencies, then yeah, I think it has to keep coming down the path for us all.
Fantastic. All right, some really great points there, Neil. Thank you so much for your time. Hope everyone has a great day. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan.